Hello everyone. So today we are going to do the history chapter 1 part 2. So it's class 9 history, the India and the contemporary world 1, and we are going to do today the page number 6 of chapter number 1. So let's begin. As we have completed the rest part and behind part, the page number 3 to 5, we have completed the whole, and today we are going to do page number 6. Okay, so here's the topic: growing middle class envisages an end to privileges. Okay, so let me tell the basic things. Whatever in this whole paragraph consists, actually, in this whole we will get to know. It's a little informatory, but not that much compared to other pages. Okay, so let me just tell you again. Let me just give you an idea of this paragraph. Is that it only tells about the professions of third estate and about three philosophers. So we will get to know the professions of third estate. Here we will get to know about the professions of third estate, what professions third estate used to like to be with, used to do, or what they don't want to do. Okay, so here it comes that the professions of third estate concludes merchants, manufacturers, lawyers, administrative officials. Okay, now let me tell you what merchants and manufacturers do actually. So merchants and manufacturers actually do, merchants' work was to trade overseas, and manufacturers' work is to import and export. And this both of these works are used to be done by the rich people living in the third estate. Okay, considered in the third estate, the rich people who are considered in the third estate were used to do this kind of stuff, this kind of economic and this kind of livelihood they had. Merchants or and manufacturers. Then comes to lawyers, administrative officials. Now the people who are not that rich, like who are merchants and manufacturers, little middle class, so those people were used to be lawyers and administrative officials. Okay, now coming to the next part, that is that in France the third estate was also getting intelligent and educated, and in third estate education was promoted and people were getting aware by time. Okay, so at that time, all the lawyers and all the people in France were quite educated and were quite aware that, and the third estate people were so aware about their unfairness happening with them, and that's why, as there was an unfair government in their society. So that is the reason why three philosophers came out of that crowd and just showed, I mean, they just presented the third estate and told the government and demanded government that they should do something for this. Okay, now as I'm telling about you the three philosophers, so who are these three philosophers actually? So let me just explain you. These three philosophers are John Locke. So as you can see on your screen that here I have presented John Locke. So he was the man who was the first philosopher in your book mentioned, and he actually wrote a book. Let me just show you that book. He was John Locke, okay? He was the John Locke, and now he has also written a book. The Let me just show that book to you. So here you see two treatises of government. This was the book which was written by John Locke. Okay, so it's the book here. Okay, now I'm going to show you the next very important philosopher, that was Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Okay, so he was the Jean-Jacques Rousseau, and he has not written any kind of book, but he had just carried out a very important idea forward. That the idea was that government. He demanded his Louis XVI, the ruler, that our government should be based on contract between people and representatives. Means our government should be based on, like, whatever there should be a communication. There should be a proper communication system between the normal people and between the administrative officials. Means the socially there should be a very nice communication between the representatives and the normal people. So this was his demand and he wanted this. So it was just he just represented an idea on in front of government. So he was Jean-Jacques Rousseau. He was the second philosopher who was mentioned in your book, in your chapter French Revolution. Now here is your third philosopher. His name was Baron de Montesquieu, but in your books, in your chapter, it's only mentioned Montesquieu. but his full name was Baron de Montesquieu. So he also wrote a book. He was the main, and I can't say it main, but yeah, he was a very important French philosopher at that time, Baron de Montesquieu, and he also wrote a book, and his book's name was The Spirit of the Law. But if you will see at the heading here, it's not mentioned the spirit of the law. Here it is not mentioned. I hope you can see. Yes, it's not mentioned the spirit of the law. It's mentioned de l'esprit de Louis. So actually, it's written in French. De in French is called the, and no, no, sorry. De, I don't know the meaning of de, but yeah, le is called the spirit, and then here is the day of, and Louis is for law. So this is the terminology here, the spirit of the law. So it was his book. It was Montesquieu. This book was written by Baron de Montesquieu. And in this book, what he has explained is, in his book, what he has explained is the division of power system within the government. And this division of power is so important in India also, because India also adopted this system for his own good governance. For that, India also adopted this system, division of power. That is, you have also studied in your earlier classes, legislative, executive, judiciary. Here is the legislative, executive, and judiciary. I hope you can see. Yeah. So these were the three. It was a division of power system in India also. And now here the question comes, that is, which is the country who put this system, division of power system, who implemented this system first? So that country's name is USA, a very popular country. So USA was the first country who implemented this division of power system in his country. And when he implemented this system, when the 13 colonies were when the 13 colonies got independence from Britain, from a common enemy, Britain. I'm not talking about India. I'm talking about those 13 colonies, and India is not is not a part of those 13 colonies. But yeah, India was also a British colony, and India was a British colony till 1947, when it got independence. Okay, so here, so when the 13 colonies declared their independence from Britain, then USA was the first country who implemented this division of power system in his country. Now, here this paragraph almost ended, but just last point, that is your last three lines, which makes a little sense, but yeah, this is your last three lines. Okay, so it is about Louis 16. So as we know and we have read about Louis 16 before, so what Louis 16 did, actually, when these philosophers were writing books, were publishing books in socially, and newspapers were also coming out, and all these stuff was going on. So at that time, normal people were so they got to know about a lot of information, lot of knowledge about the world around them, and they started discussing about this. And when they started discussions, they got to know that how unfairly is their government is being. So that is why those people started generating anger and started doing protests, and this was a part of French Revolution. And Louis 16, what he planned, what was his mind? His mind was to it is quite funny actually. His mind was to impose taxes. Means he also thought that we should impose taxes on the protests and state generated anger against the system of privileges. Okay, he thought that what they should do is to impose taxes on what people are doing. If people are protesting, they should pay tax. They must pay tax for their protests. They must pay tax for this anger they are showing. So this was Louis 16 thinking, and he planned about this. Now this paragraph also ends, and yeah, this paragraph here ends. Now moving towards the next is source A. So in this blue box, it's not that informatory, it's not even necessary, it doesn't even come in your exams. It's just, if you want to know about this, it's just about here it's in first part and the second part. So in the first part, Georges Danton was a French man, and who wrote a letter to his friend in 1793, and telling him how he struggled in his past life, and told how difficult it is for third estate people to live in France with this third estate, with this system of privileges. So he just told about this, he just shared his feelings with his friend. And now the second part comes, an Englishman, Arthur Young. So Arthur Young was an Englishman who traveled around, who traveled through France to see how France is and to know about France. So he traveled from what time period? 1787 to 1789. And in that time period, he was like, he was what kind of man he was? He was like to write everything, mention everything in his accounts, what he experienced, what he didn't, and what he got to know or what he didn't get to. He wanted to tell about people. He wanted to mention everything, each and everything happened to him in France in his accounts. So he mentioned them, and he also told about the system of privileges, and he also mentioned in his accounts. So this part ends here, and today, so this part ends here, and in the next video I'm going to tell you about the outbreak of the revolution, the second part. So we are going to complete this second part in the next video, so you just have to wait for it. And if you like this video, go to the subscribe button and hit that button very conveniently and just like if you like, and if you want your friends to know about this, to get a better understanding of this chapter, just share this video with them. So thank you, and I hope you will do best, you will give your best in your exams. Bye bye.